Have you ever been told that you're too emotional? Or maybe you've caught yourself saying those words to someone else. It's a phrase we hear all the time. We say it to children, we say it to adults, and lately, I've even seen us saying it about ourselves as Haitian people. The more I hear it, the more it bothers me. Not because emotions can't become overwhelming, not because emotional regulation isn't important, but because I think that phrase teaches something very different than what we intend. Today, I want to talk about why. Hey, I'm Zephyr, a licensed therapist, and this is W Ap Koute M. You are listening to me, I am listening to you. Hello everyone, welcome back to W Ap Koute M. Today we are talking about something I hear all the time, both inside and outside the therapy room. You are too emotional. It sounds simple, but I believe those 3 words can leave a lasting impact on the way people understand themselves, their emotions, and even their worth. One of the things that concerns me the most is when we say this to children. Children aren't born knowing how to regulate emotions. That's something they learn. A 3-year-old isn't supposed to regulate emotions like an adult. A 7-year-old is still learning. Even teenagers are still developing emotionally. So when a child cries easily, gets frustrated, or expresses big feelings, and the response they hear is, "You are too emotional," they are usually not learning emotional regulation. They are learning something else. They're learning that their emotions are a problem, that something is wrong with them, that who they are is too much. Over time, many children stop expressing emotions, not because they've learned how to regulate them, but because they've learned that expressing them isn't safe. And that's very different. Because children are born knowing how to regulate emotions, they learn it or they don't. So when they grow up into adults, what we often call being too emotional may actually be someone who never had the opportunity to learn emotional regulation. And then those children grow up. Some adults become very good at hiding emotions. Some suppress everything. Some disconnect from how they feel altogether. Others become overwhelmed because no one ever taught them what to do with their emotions. It's important to understand that every person experiences emotion. Every single one of us, right? And the difference isn't whether we have too many emotions. The difference is how we learned or didn't learn to understand, express, and regulate them. And sometimes There are additional factors too. Some people have experienced trauma. Some grew up in environments where emotions weren't welcome. Some have mental health conditions that make emotional regulation much more difficult. The answer isn't labeling someone as too emotional. The answer is becoming curious. What happened? What are they feeling? What is this emotion trying to communicate? Lately, I've been noticing something else. As many of you know, Haiti recently qualified for the World Cup again. And watching Haiti compete filled me with so much pride. I watched the games with my children. We talked about Haitian history. We celebrated together. It was beautiful to see not only Haitians supporting our team, but people from other countries cheering us on as well. And at the same time, there were conversations happening online too, right? People were discussing the jersey situation, FIFA's decision that the original design couldn't be worn because it was too political. And I've seen so many opinions arise, right? Different opinions were being shared. What caught my attention wasn't whether people agreed or disagreed. It was one comment I kept seeing over and over and over again. Haitians are too emotional. We are too emotional people, and we create drama. Every time I read those words, I felt the negativity, the blame, and the shame. And it got me thinking, it's the same message we give to children. If the same message we give adults, now we are saying it. We are saying it about an entire population, an entire people. And as I reflected on those comments online, I asked myself a different question. What if instead of saying Haitians are too emotional, we asked whether we've ever had the opportunity as individuals or even collectively to learn emotional regulation after generations of survival? When we go back to our history, right, our history is filled with survival, slavery, revolution, political instability, natural disasters, migration, separation from family, economic hardship. Generation after generation has learned how to survive. But survival and emotional regulation are not the same. They are not the same thing. When your nervous system is focused on surviving, there isn't always room to slow down, process emotions, and learn healthy ways to express them. So, yes, we may see strong emotional reactions, but context matters. That doesn't mean every behavior is healthy. It also doesn't mean we dismiss an entire people by saying we are too emotional. Because for centuries, other people have told our stories. Other people have judged us. Other people have misunderstood us. Maybe now it's time we stop doing the same thing to ourselves. Instead of criticizing one another, what if we became more compassionate? What if instead of saying, you are too emotional, we ask, it seemed like this really affected you. Tell me more. I would like to understand. Because emotions themselves aren't the problem. The way we respond to them makes all the difference. And this doesn't mean every emotional reaction is healthy. It doesn't mean we should react to every feeling the moment we experience it. One concept that I often teach, it's something called wise mind. On one side, we have emotional mind. That's when emotions completely take over. On the other side, we have reasonable mind. That's when we ignore emotions completely and only focus on facts. Neither extreme is where we want to live. Wise mind brings the two together. It says, my emotions matter. The facts matter. And when we slow down long enough to acknowledge both, we are much more likely to respond instead of simply reacting. And that's emotional regulation. It's not pretending emotions don't exist, not being controlled by them, but it's learning how to listen to them without letting them make every decision. So today I want to leave you with this question. The next time someone becomes emotional, before saying you are too emotional, pause. Ask yourself, what might this emotion be trying to communicate? Because maybe the goal isn't to have fewer emotions. Maybe the goal is to understand them better. Thank you for listening. And if you're looking for a space where we continue conversations like this, I would love to invite you to Lakai Within, my monthly virtual gathering for Haitian women. It's a space where we slow down, reflect, connect, and make room for healing together. Our next gathering will take place on July 14. If you're not quite ready for the virtual gathering, you are also welcome to join the free Lakai Within community where I share reflections, journal prompts, wellness tools, and encouragement throughout the month. You'll find both links in the show note. Thank you for tuning in to Ap Koute M. If this episode resonated, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need it. And remember, keep prioritizing yourself, keep learning, and let's heal, grow, and thrive together.